Hi, everyone. My name is Rich, and I thought it would be fun to use this YouTube channel to document my new bookkeeping company, Entrie, and its journey from $0 in sales and zero clients to 100 clients and $1 million in annual revenue. And I want to achieve that within 5 years. And I thought this would be a fun place to take you through everything I do to work towards that goal. While Entrie is a new company, I do have a ton of experience. So I have well over 25 years in corporate accounting, working for billion-dollar companies, as well as working with my own clients. I currently own two accounting businesses. One is Bloom CPA, which is about a 650 client tax and bookkeeping practice, and a newer company, Bloom Tax Resolution, where we work with clients to help them resolve federal and state tax matters. That practice is doing between 2 and 3 cases per month. What I want to do in this channel is cover a couple of topics. I have some notes here, make sure I touch on everything. So in every episode, there's going to be a combination of a few things. We're going to recap what we've done. We're going to talk about what we're going to be doing. And those topics generally are going to involve some sales and marketing, our service offerings, our pricing, our practice management. We're going to have accounting demos. We're going to work within QuickBooks. We're going to talk about finance and taxes, general business concepts. And as always, I like to take questions of anyone watching so we can have a dialogue. Things that I say are certainly going to help some people out there, and things that are said back will certainly help me. The channel is really for the new bookkeeper or accountant who's looking to take on their own clients. I think I can offer a lot of insight and helpful information. It's also for the person who's already been running a practice where we can share ideas. And it's for the business owner to get a better understanding about what your accountant or bookkeeper does. And to be perfectly honest, hopefully it leads to some appointments booked where we could potentially work together. Topics I do want to cover today are what services I'm going to offer. I want to touch a little bit about pricing. I haven't finalized that yet, but I'm going to talk about conceptually what I'm thinking of doing, and then what industries I'm going to serve. One thing also two things in disclosure, actually. One is I am going to leverage my current tech stack from my other businesses. So I'm not going to be purchasing new tax software or practice management system. So I will save some money there, but in episodes where we talk about this, I will tell you about some low or no cost alternatives. Also, when we do look in QuickBooks Online, it's going to be a copy of my company. So you'll see my financials, but you will not see an actual copy with clients in it. I'm going to do that to protect their privacy, but the data will be the same on my company side. And I will not be leveraging the other companies to get clients for Entrie. So I won't be moving any clients into Entrie, and I will not be using Bloom CPA's sales pipeline to move clients in. So if somebody calls my accounting practice looking for a business tax return or monthly bookkeeping, they'll stay with that company. I won't move them over. So this is really going to be a true startup. And if you follow these steps, if I stay diligent with these steps, I think all of these goals can be achieved. I'm also going to try to do this company with $1,000 or $2,000. I'm going to do that on purpose. One, I could do that on purpose because the other companies are paying the tech fees. But I want to do this to show that anybody can start a bookkeeping business, provided you have the experience to serve your clients well with a very small amount of money. So we'll see if we're able to do that. The services that we're going to offer to our clients, there's 7 general services I like to offer everybody, and then I kind of like a catch-all 8th category. First is your bookkeeping or your accounting. So this is going to be your transaction classification from bank feeds, reconciliations, manual journal entries, just the normal everyday first step and everything accountants do, getting those books nice and neat, closing them on time. Then providing the second service, which is our reporting. To me, reporting is a separate service from bookkeeping. So we're going to go far beyond just giving you a very simple canned P&L, balance sheet, and cash flow statement. So the reports that we provide our clients are financial reports, which definitely involve those reports just with a little more detail and looking at it more dimensionally. We have management reporting. So this could be things that are important to running your business, but are not financial reports. So they could be aging reports, they could be payroll reports, just other reports that are important to that business owner. And then everybody gets a 2-page dashboard. And we're going to look at this in future episodes. But page 1 are those 7, 10, 12 KPIs that are critical for you to look at to understand your business. So it's that one quick snapshot you can look at. And the second page is anywhere between 20 to 30 metrics that are important for your business and in your industry. So these are great reports that help you really understand your performance, much more so than just looking at a P&L, a balance sheet, and a cash flow statement. Or next, we're going to offer FP&A or financial planning and analysis service to our clients. This is a really underserved area of the market. Most small business owners do not have this offered to them. A highlight of the services this would include would be budgeting, forecasting, variance analysis, or maybe even financial modeling. So that's going to be an exciting service that small business owners can now have access to. We're going to do tax preparation. We're going to do tax planning. We're going to offer compliance services. So this could be something as simple as making sure your annual reports for your LLCs are filed, your annual fees are paid. It could be making sure you're current on sales tax or payroll taxes, or if you're in regulated industries and need some sort of government reporting, or if you're part of something like a franchise system where your franchise or requires certain reporting, we can work with you to help you get those things taken care of. And then advisory services. So this is really one of the more valuable services that business owners should be taking advantage of, and bookkeepers, accountants should be offering. And the catch-all group could be things like payroll, cash management, AR, just all the other normal services a bookkeeping practice or CPA practice would offer to a client. The idea here is to offer as many services as possible to be your one-stop shop for your client. And if you're a business owner, having one service provider handle all these things is a lot more efficient. You don't have to wait. You don't have to coordinate. And then you start to get common themes in the reporting and you're comfortable with that individual's work style. The way that I'm going to offer the products is in a couple of different price tiers. So my initial thinking, and we're going to talk about this in episodes, and I'm going to finalize it more, is there's going to be 3 offerings. Each offering is going to build on the other in terms of what services are provided or what discounts are provided for additional services. So one example could be tier 1 might look something like bookkeeping and reporting for $500 and a 25% discount on all additional services. Tier 2 might be something like $750 a month for bookkeeping, financial planning and analysis, your reporting, of course, and some advisory services. Tier 3 may be $1,000 and include everything. Going back to tier 2, maybe there's a 50% discount on the additional services. So that's to be ironed out. And when it's finally ironed out, that's going to be in the next day or two. I'll probably just give you the final version of that. In addition to those 3 tiers, we'll offer fractional CFO or controller services. Those are going to be the result of a conversation. We'll see what the client's needs are and price appropriately to meet those needs. We'll never have contracts. We only want to work with customers who still want to work with us. So that will be something, and I'm very much against contracts. Only work with people who want to work with you. That's an important part of the relationship. You never want anybody to feel trapped. And then we are going to offer a product called Entrie in a box, or Entrie Edge in a box. And what this is for the business owner who has a good enough understanding of bookkeeping or has a staff, but needs a formal system in place and may need some monthly support. So we will be able to install a system. We will be able to train you and your staff. And then if you would like, we have an ongoing service contract to provide support. That might be additional training. It may be to help with creating accounts. It may be, something like making some journal entries that your staff just is not sure of. So that will be the Entrie in a Box program. And again, these will all be finalized in the next day or so. And then finally, who we're going to serve. First, I want to say I'm going to serve all industries for the most part. There's going to be a couple of exceptions, regardless of your industry. So if you're in the service business, if you're in the trades, whatever it might be, if you're a retailer or a restaurant, and you like what you hear on the channel and you'd like to work together, definitely schedule a call using the link below. But most of the examples and most of the audience I'm going to be speaking to are going to be people in a franchise system, whether you're a franchisee or franchisor. I have significant experience in that industry and in real estate. So I have professional experience at a corporate level doing actual real estate accounting for a multi-billion-dollar property manager. So this was locations in multiple states, thousands of rental units, timeshares. So I'll be able to give some really good insight into the more technical accounting for those industries and some FP&A add-ons that go nicely with those. So if you're in those two industries, I'm a great person to reach out to and have a conversation with. And another thing is, it's important to define who you don't want to work with. So personally, I won't work with attorneys under any circumstance. It's an unpleasant experience. I find them to be typically unpleasant people. So it's just something I don't do. I'm very careful about working with doctors. Doctors don't have the same personality flaws attorneys do, but they're typically difficult to get a hold of. It causes delays in getting your work done, and it does hamper your ability to serve the client at the level you'd like to. I do have some doctors who are fantastic because they're interested in their financials and they do participate, but you have to be really careful about certain industries and certain people. Just their workload may make them a more difficult client to serve well. So definitely give a lot of thought to that. A couple things that I've done already is going to help facilitate this is I've organized my LLC. I have a website. I have my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn set up. And I do have ads ready to run. So I'm a little more aggressive than most people. While we will do organic marketing, I'm also going to do paid ads. I'm really one of those people that likes to do all of the above. If you're a fan of business books, I'm a fan of the author Jim Collins, and one of the concepts in his books is, try a lot of things and keep what works. And I encourage you to do that. Do all different types of marketing and outreach. And then as you discover what works for you, that's where you're going to want to concentrate your efforts, maybe spend your marketing dollars. And we're going to talk through that, and I'm going to show you reporting of all the things I've done, what kind of yield it's had, and then we'll start to refine that stuff over time to really zero in on our marketing. And I've got good experience with this in my other companies, so hopefully we'll be able to leverage some of that and be successful in getting clients as soon as possible. In terms of managing expectations, so the next 5-6 weeks or so, I'm not going to put any pressure on myself to actually get a client. I want to set up all of the foundation. I want to spend time marketing to these new audiences. Then for the new year, I am going to set targets for each month. So we're going to set targets for the number of leads we generate, the number of calls we make, the number of clients we close. And we're going to start conservatively, and I'm going to show you this forecast. We're going to probably do it together in an episode. And as we start to find out what marketing works, what doesn't, and we refine these things, then we'll start to change our forecast. So right now I'm thinking of something like in the first 3 months, I'd like to add maybe 1 to 2 clients per month. My year-end target is going to be something shy of 20 clients. I think that's probably a good number to aim for. I think second year growth could definitely double, and then we'll kind of see how it goes from there. 100 clients seems like a lot, but adding 20 clients a year is not a lot. Now, we'll never retain all of our clients. We're certainly going to have turnover. Every business does. Some clients will outgrow you. You just won't work well with others. That's perfectly fine. So that's kind of what I wanted to say today. That's how I want to lay out our game plan for the channel. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future episodes. And please like, share, and subscribe below. It's going to help grow the channel. It's going to help other business owners. It's going to help other accountants and bookkeepers, reach or be aware of the channel and help them grow their businesses. Speaking to you guys several times a week. And with that, have a great night. Bye.